30 seconds and counting.
Hey, what's good, yo? Welcome back to another video. It's Anish. I'm joined with DJ, and the Rockets have won a game against the Pistons 116-107. And although we didn't see the Jalen Green versus Cade Cunningham matchup, there's still a lot of things to be excited about. It was Josh Christopher's first game as a starter and Christian Wood's first game against the Pistons as a Houston Rockets. So that was pretty exciting storylines. And let's first talk about Christian Wood, who had a great game. This game he had in 30 minutes, he had 21 points, 8 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal, 1 block. He had a pretty efficient game too, 9 of 19 from the floor, 2 of 6 from 3. So it was a great game from Wood. And then Eric Gordon, he was back to his old self, really attacking the paint and really scoring layups with ease. 7 from 11 from the field, 3 of 4 from 3, 18 points from the game, and 5 assists as well. So both those guys had great games. So what are your thoughts on Christian Wood and Eric Gordon in this game?
Well, it's not really about them. They didn't have like the flashiest numbers, but it was definitely very nice to see. You know, they just had their quality games. I feel like in this game, it was definitely a lot more of a team effort. We actually had 7 players in double digits, and, you know, Sengun and Augustine were just 1 or 2 points away from also hitting double digits. So it was really balanced scoring effort from everyone. But I'm really just impressed with, you know, Gordon has done a solid job with playmaking. You know, he was hitting some clutch shots with the momentum was like kind of shifting in Detroit's favor. You know, Christian Wood kind of caught on fire in that third quarter and a little bit in that fourth, you know, hitting that basically dagger on Luka Garza when they started to get their momentum shifting their way as well. So, you know, they're just doing their thing. It's all that matters. But, you know, really, if you want to shine light, you got to shine it on, you know, guys like Garrison Matthews in tonight's game. Same with Josh Christopher and even KJ Martin.
Yeah, and Christian Wood, despite the great game, he did have some issues against a much beefier guy in Isaiah Stewart. And Isaiah Stewart, although he had a great game, he had four pretty early fouls, so he didn't play much of the second half, like at the very end. But Isaiah Stewart has a great game. Like, the Pistons still have very great players on their team. Like Saddiq Bey had a great game, Cade Cunningham had a great game, Isaiah Stewart had a great game. So even though they're on like a 14-game losing streak, and it's kind of crazy how there's like very little media attention towards that compared to the Rockets' 15-game losing streak. It's just they still have pretty promising players on that team, of course. But yeah, like you said, let's talk about Josh Christopher and KJ Martin, and Garrison Matthews. And then Josh Christopher, when he was being named a starter, he said hard work is everything, just being ready. When you do get your name called, seize the opportunity and maximize it, try to build on it. Try not to get too high or too low. And this game as a starter, he in 28 minutes, he had 4 of 6 from the field, 2 of 3 from the 3-point line. He had 10 points, 7 assists, which is a career high for him, 4 rebounds and 1 steal. And he played great defense on Cade Cunningham. I thought he was absolutely outstanding. And Steven Silas said it was a foregone conclusion based on the way JayGup played most of the second half of the last game, and with Armani Brooks out with the ankle soreness, that he was going to get the start. So JayGup said he was ready for it, and it's pretty great to see him rise to the occasion with that.
But yeah, when you just look at Josh Christopher's numbers, like over the past 7 games, he's been averaging 12 points, about 2.5 rebounds, 2.5 assists, 3 rebounds, a solid steal and a half per game, shooting almost 60% from the field and 50% from 3 with a 71% true shooting rate. I mean, it's kind of surprising, but at the same time, it's really not. When you look at like Josh Christopher, like in his draft class coming out of high school, he was like a top 10 like prospect. I believe he was like 10 or 11 or somewhere around there. So we knew he was going to be a bucket. It's just, you know, COVID happened, and like, you know, he didn't exactly get the best coaching and like the best minutes when he was playing in Arizona State. So his draft stock kind of fell. But, you know, Josh Christopher was supposed to be a lottery pick, and like he's playing like it. It's amazing how well the Rockets have drafted in this past draft. And all 19-year-olds at all 19-year-olds as well. It's just like they're all gonna get better. They're all gonna just continue improving. And tonight we saw that with his career high in assists. He was playmaking well for others, doing a solid job, controlling the ball and not turning it over as much as like we expected him to. But at the same time, one thing that's also been pretty shocking has just been his shot making ability and his shooting. He didn't exactly have the best jumper when we saw him in like the summer league, but he's really been in the gym. He's a gym rat, working on it like the whole time. He's been working hard. He has that dog mentality on that defensive end. Josh Christopher is something special, and he's just an energy guy that every team just needs to be playing for them.
Yeah, and he's shown that he's definitely not going to go back to the G League after this for sure. And Josh Christopher, is going to be interesting to see how the lineup is when KBJ and Jalen Green come back. Is Silas going to run a 3-guard lineup? Because you also want to try to keep Garrison Matthews in the starting lineup because of what he provides offensively. Like today, after being paid off to a 4-year, signing a contract to a 4-year, $8 million deal, which he actually found out when he was playing Xbox, and he found out the news on Twitter. He absolutely had a great game today, and 36 minutes, which was a team high. The next player, the second most minutes, was 30. He had 6 of 12 from the field, 4 of 9 from 3. He is absolutely really active, getting the pass, like playing the passing lanes and making those transition plays and things of that nature. And he was a plus 10 on the team. He also had 2 assists, 5 rebounds, 3 steals, like I said. So Garrison Matthews had, once again, coming back to being very efficient. And so Garrison Matthews played absolutely well. What are your thoughts on him so far?
I mean, when you just look at like the way this guy is, he's been basically battling adversity like forever. He was never really a like top prospect in college. He went to Lipscomb, which is somewhere in Nashville. I found out a couple nights ago. He's the first guy in the NBA from that college. So he was never really a guy that got a lot of media attention, or he had to work hard. And it can really be like shown with his like come up story. He said in an interview before that, when he was thinking about doing something other than basketball in his life after Boston had only offered him a 2-way contract. He said, quote, "I was honestly quite tired of it. It's a tough contract to be on, and I felt like I had done enough prior to get a standard contract." And he showcased it. The Rockets ended up also giving him a 2-way contract, and he ended up signing that 2-way with us because he assumed that he would get more playing time, which he ended up doing, and he showcased the most of it. He played so well that the Rockets just decided to waive Daniel House to create a roster spot for him and signed him to an amazing deal. Was it a 4-year, $8 million contract? So about $2 million per year. Very similar to the contract that Armani Brooks is on. He's making about, I think, 4-year, $7.2 mil. So about 1.8 mil a year. So, Stone is doing great things out there in the front office. He's giving guys amazing contracts. He's making them happy by giving them minutes, by giving them chances. And he's even brought up Trevelyan Queen. Queen didn't exactly have like the best game. He took 2 shots tonight. But, other than that, we never know. He could also be like a solid like contributor off the bench.
Yeah, and more on that Garrison Matthews contract. Only the first year is guaranteed. The next 3 years are non-guaranteed. And he has a team option on that 4th year. So so Stone did a great job, like you said, with that contract. And now let's go to KJ Martin, who also has a very cheap contract as well. And he seems to be outplaying that contract game by game, in which in 28 minutes, he shot 4 of 7 from the field. He had 3 good dunks and that one weird play with Wood where Wood kind of stole the ball from him, but he got the assist for it. And then 1 3, and his 3-point shooting has actually been getting really better over the past few games. And that was something we saw like last season, over the last few games in the last season, where his 3-point percentage was increasing, and we're now seeing him hit threes at a reliable rate. And he also had 11 rebounds. I believe that's his first double-double of the season, fifth double-double in his career. And he also had 1 assist and 1 steal. and +9 for the night. So 10 total points for KJ Martin. So what were your thoughts on his performance today?
I mean, yeah, KJ's been playing amazing in the past stretch of games. You know, Ryan Hollins tweeted that he's had 10 points and 10 rebounds. He got that in today's game. That's his first double-double of the season and the fifth of his career. And now KJ's actually been kind of on like a scoring tear. Like for his minutes, he's been scoring over 10 points in the past 4 straight games, which he hasn't done consecutively prior in this season. So, you know, KJ's coming into his own as well. And it can really be just given to the chemistry that he has with that bench unit, especially with guys like Alperen Sengun and DJ Augustine. That trio, just they know how to create for each other. They know how to, you know, get everyone their shots and all that. And, you know, speaking of KJ, I don't know if you guys saw that funny little exchange with him and Christian Wood where he got the rebound, but Wood just like stole the ball from him and went up for a little baby hook. And then I don't know. I just thought that was pretty funny because, you know, KJ also tweeted that he thought that he was about to go up for that shot as well. But then he looked down, the ball was like out of his hands and he was like, oh no, what happened? And then he saw that Christian Wood had stolen it from him and caught him with the baby hook. So, you know, just a little funny little exchange. But, you know, I feel like a lot of different things are really coming in for KJ. You know, his amazing finishing abilities, the way that even his 3-point shots been steadily improving over these past few games, you know, along with the fact that he's just an amazing cutter and even his defense. I feel like KJ Martin's defense is something that is very underrated. And he's also said that he's a much better defensive player than last year.
Yeah, I mean, there's a play. I mean, this was in the Knicks game yesterday, but there's a play where he like was guarding. I'm not sure. I think Quickly, and then Quickly was forced to make a bad pass or something like that. So I mean, KJ is definitely putting the clamps on, and we already knew like with this athleticism, it's very likely for him to be a very good defensive guy, and he's showing it like that he can do anything on both ends of the floor. And same thing with like other guys like Josh Christopher is also showing that two-way ability. And so a lot of great promising things for the Rockets. And lastly, let's talk about David Nawaba, who came off the bench, 17 points, 5 of 9 from the field, 1 of 3 from 3, 13 points, 7 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal, 1 block. And he was absolutely our energy guy. Like when David Nawaba gets going, like it's basically wraps for the other team. Like and the whole team feeds off of him. And so David Nawaba has played really stellar lately. And so, yeah, what are your thoughts on David Nawaba?
Well, I mean, Uncle Dave is just, you know, he's a demon in transition. He got a couple of steals, a few stops. And, you know, once he gets that, he's just darting down the court. And, you know, sometimes he's looking to pass it. Sometimes he has tunnel vision. He's just going straight for the rim. He had a pretty nice foul and one play in transition. And, you know, he just does his thing. He typically plays with these young guys in lineups that like featuring, you know, guys like Gup, Sengun, Garuba, KJ, you know, and just like Garrison Matthews, just some of these young guys. And he likes that veteran presence and just being that energy guy, because, you know, when you have that energy and you have that momentum shifting, you know, it's contagious. It really is. And, you know, the fact that it's coming from one of the oldest guys who's playing on the floor, it really motivates these younger guys to, hey, if he can do it, I can do it too. And I definitely should be doing it. So, you know, in the end, everyone else is just, you know, they're playing better for it. And, you know, David Nawaba, now that Daniel House is gone, has to, I think, solidified like a solid like spot minutes per game he's going to be getting. And, you know, as long as he continues to play at his high energy pace, and, you know, sometimes he's, you know, finishing better than other nights, and sometimes he's even shooting better. I think he had like 2 threes. I want to say 2 threes he had tonight. So if he's shooting well and if he's playing good defense, you know, he's a great mentor for these young guys.
Yeah, David Nawaba had a 3 tonight, but I know the 3-point shooting isn't his strongest suit. But like you said, he provides a lot on the defensive side, transition side. So David Nawaba is really great for us. And let's not forget about Sengun. He didn't have the greatest game with 9 points, but he still made a lot of really like great passes for Sengun. And he did have 4 fouls this game. And this is what Silas said about Şengün's defense. He said that the main development for him is the fouls and trying to stay out of foul trouble. He's got such active hands. You want him to be aggressive, but you don't want him to foul. And that's been like the main issue with Şengün this season. We'll have to see if that's something that improves throughout the course of the season. But Şengün, he still was able to get his typical post move package on some other guys. For like, I don't know how to describe the play, but like he did like I don't know how to describe it, but he just like absolutely like shook the defender off and like scored. And there's like multiple efforts from Alperen Şengün from getting rebounds. He had 5 rebounds this game, 4 assists off the bench. So Alperen Şengün played really well for us, despite there was an unfavorable matchup against like Isaiah Stewart, but obviously he wasn't in the game for so long. But I think Şengün did pretty good enough, pretty well this game, and I hope he really improves on the defensive end because I know he really hustles on that side.
Yeah, with Şengün, he doesn't have to be having his amazing like standout games every single night, especially on nights like this where everyone else is getting going. Şengün did a lot of his facilitating and a lot of his playmaking for others. So, he had a solid 4 assists. He had his 5 rebounds, 9 points. He had 2 great blocks, and he did finish with 4 fouls. But even then, he was a plus 13 in this game, tied for second highest with DJ Augustine. So, him and DJ just have that amazing connection, and he's just got that chemistry with the bench unit. He had this one really good pass where it was Nawaba was running up the court, quick give to Şengün, and he started cutting Şengün with the quick like behind the back Showtime Laker pass to Nawaba for the emphatic slam. Those kind of passes, those kind of like plays is what really like makes us Rockets fans just drool whenever we see Şengün on the court, because the fact that he can do all this at 19, his playmaking and vision is just uncanny. It's just an amazing thing to see, and he's able to do it with literally anyone. As long as you can put some shooters around Şengün, like an average offense can just simply be played. And the fact again that he's 19 and he can do all this it's scary for the league that we have a baby Jokic Sabonis on our team. But other than that, Şengün had a solid game. Even DJ Augustine had a pretty like decent, not an amazing game, but a decent game. Had a solid 8 points. Didn't shoot it well from 3 that time, but again, did well enough in playmaking, facilitating that he did have a pretty high plus minus.
And yeah, that pretty much wraps up our post-game video. The next game the Rockets play is Monday, December 20th against the Bulls, and we hope to see y'all there for the post-game video. And yeah, let us know your thoughts for today's game in the comment section below. And as always, be sure to like, subscribe, and turn on post notifications. Thank y'all for watching. Peace.